Okay, 1660, good luck. So we've not played before, we have no head-to-head score there. 1300 games for my opponent, very good. 300 and something in Blitz as well. You've got a countdown there to make your first move. Okay, let's play the normal carrow. You can pretty much pre-move d5 in the carrow, but it is rapid, so there's no need to. Let's just develop. It's debating whether I want to get the bishop outside. Okay, pushes forward. I think I can actually push on there. I think I can just push the pawn up, knight up, and e5, go for something like this. It's whether I'm going to try and get the bishop developed first, but I always like to stick to principles, try and get castled if we can do. Think of your own king's safety and then worry about what to do. Okay, pushes forward. So this is where it's potentially dangerous. Now, bishop up is a move here. There is some tricks in the carrow with takes, knight check and collects, but my knight actually covers that check. So bishop up either square is a move, I think. But I think I'll just be... actually, should I be safe? Go here. Do I do this anyway and come around the angles? I like the idea of that actually, because there is a trick in the carrow in some lines. Normally when the bishop's on c4, you take your knight check and you collect. Yeah, my opponent's just missed that the knight's covering. That's what they've played for, I think, but they missed the knight's covering. So we can drop back. There's a target for the pawn, but we can guard. So do I block here? I can block with the queen. If you take, my rook's a bit looser then. I can just play pawn up, I guess, but pawn up you take with check. And I don't like that, so I'm just going to go here. And then I just need to do something. Oh, what? Oh, maybe I have actually blundered. Have I actually blundered here? I shouldn't have blocked like that. Oh, I have actually thrown the game. Ooh, I might have gone actually genuinely, legitimately wrong here. Okay, I think I've still got queen up though, and I think I'm... Oh, queen up and you've got a check and I've lost the game. What the heck's happening here? Queen's under attack, so I have to go here then. This is some sort of line my opponent's found, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't take long enough to think that. I'm in a lot of trouble now. I don't think I can even run away. The queen can come across. Oh, now the queen can't come across, so pawn up I should be okay. Knight over and we actually hit the knight, but is it a decent move or not? Knight across. I'm going to play knight over. Cuts this, hits the knight, cuts the knight's escape. I just want to get pawn up. Yeah, I need to brush up on this theory. My opponent really knows this, don't they? And I played a bit too quickly there and didn't take the time to calculate it out. Okay, but now I just take. Okay, and I think I've got pawn up here. Hit the bishop, hit the pawn. Ooh, it's very scary, isn't it, when a game goes wrong like this? That's what I mean, you can never take these games for granted. If I can just get my king safe or safe-ish, then hopefully we're alright. So it might be worth throwing a pawn in first here, rather than trying to grab the pawn, just so the king's got a square. So what have we got? Queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight. Queen, rook, rook, bishop, knight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're dead level material. But our position is very uncomfortable. Knight and I'm going to drop back. I don't know if it matters which one I go on with. I want to bring this rook here and I want to run this way. So I'm going to drop back. I'm just trying to get my king to safety right now. It's level material, but my opponent, wow, played that terrifically well, didn't they? Really, really well done. Yeah, it's one of them known sacrifices in the carrow. I just forgot that it was in that particular position. If I can just get my king back and get a relatively normal position, centralize my rook, stabilize, and just see how it pans out. But the position could really blow up at any moment, yeah. Launching one. So I'm going to drop the king back, so at least we've got options to retreat now. Then hopefully rook across, try and stack the king side. How do I deal with these pieces? Oh, no idea. Maybe rook to c8 and try and go for an open foul might be an idea. Wow, is he really playing like this? He is, isn't he? This is crazy play. This is really crazy play. Blimey. What the heck is this? So queen up. Takes, rook takes, rook takes. This pawn is gonna fall. What on earth is this? What is this? Knight across. I'm just looking at queen up. If takes, bishop takes is what I'm looking at. Queen up. I'm going to play it. I know I'm hanging everything. But the knight guards the bishop for one move. I'm hoping I can play a move like rook across, but maybe I can't. Maybe I'm just blundering the whole game. Rook across is what I'm looking at, just sacking a pawn with a view to creating a threat. And if you take here, just take. Trying to get opponent's pieces off the board. Yeah, it does take. Take, take, take. I'm just going to go for it. I might be just hopelessly lost here, but it feels like I'm playing somebody far stronger than 1600, doesn't it? Playing this really, really seriously well. Obviously, I review all my games off camera after the event, so I'll check it more carefully afterwards. I might as well pre-move rook takes just in case, because that'll be an autopilot move if that were to happen. If queen takes here, I hope I can take here, but I don't know for certain. I mean, there's a knight check. Rook takes, queen takes. So I hope I can take here, but maybe you can just ignore it and push. Might be just completely lost here. It does take, so I think I can take here. If knight check, I've just got rook takes. If I take, rook takes, it's the same thing, right? So I'm going to take and hit the pawn. I'm threatening knight across, and suddenly there is an actual threat. If I get knight to g4, there's a threat, as long as I'm not lost beforehand, but I could be. Again, if takes the rook, I might as well pre-move to take back. It's certainly a game I need to brush up on the opening of it, isn't it? Okay, can we get one extra move in? Can we get knight to g4 and create a threat? We're hitting the pawn, undermining the knight potentially, though the queen does guard. It's whether you spend a move like trying to grab a pawn. Knight across. If you check now, I'm covering the check. If you check, I'm covering the check. You can't go there to attack the rook. You could go there to attack the rook and the pawn. It's whether I can sack. Here, check. Okay, so you're guarding the pawn. So now I've got knight across. And I'm suddenly creating a mate in one threat. So knight over. And there's a threat there. But I suspect you can defend it with the queen. Queen to c7. And I don't think I've really got anything. Knight here. Queen here. Guarding. And I don't think I've got anything. Rook up. Knight takes. Queen takes. King across. It's not actually winning, is it? So what on earth do I do? Oh, maybe rook up and across might be an idea. I like rook up because I guard the knight and I'm threatening to come in this way. I'm just going to abandon this pawn. Mind you, rook across, there's still a knight check threat. The queen does cover, but I'm trying to do this and create a threat and get the king into the open. But I could just be hopelessly lost after the way this has gone. If the queen wanders off, though, if the queen takes a pawn, then there is possibly takes here as well, undermining the knight, and takes, but then this one might fall as well. Yeah, that's what's done now. If I go here, you've still got queen across, so I'm looking at rook here. Rook across. And then we're threatening check and check. You'll have to come into the open. Knight check. That feels scarier. So here, can you get away with takes? Check, up, check, check. There's got to be something, doesn't there? I'm going to go for it. Everything guards everything now. So if queen takes, a knight check, and everything's protected, but I'm suddenly threatening to check and win the rook. Drive the king up. I'm still threatening knight across, but boy, this game is not what I was expecting when it started. So preparation work to be done. You might just have a simple king across here. Check, king up, takes. Ah, then he can't actually escape though. So king across, check, king here. Then I've got rook check, king up, and I can still take. It's whether my position still collapses in somewhere. Let's just find out. Oh, he has taken the pawn, so does that just win the rook for me? Check up and here. Rook guards there. Knight check. If I take, there's no queen check. There is here, but I can step. So I think we check and collect. But is there anything better with the rook check? Rook check. You just go there. No, just collect the rook. It's guarded here. But I've got no quick attack now. If I maybe queen check here, rook check here. There are checks, but... I'm just trying to survive the game, but we've gained a rook. But we're down 2 pawns. We're threatening a very dangerous, actually, knight check, though. That is dangerous, driving the king into the open. I don't see the continuation, to be fair. Here, I don't see a continuation. Well, the knight's moved. So it hits my rook and stops a check. So check here or knight check. Check. If you go here, I still don't see a continuation. Check, you just take. So I don't like that move. So check. Can I just take? If you take, I check. If you attack the knight, I come across with the rook. So it might be better to just take. If I go here, you can run, but then I check here. I think I throw a check in and try and drive the king or the knight back, and then collect the pawn. Here, I think I just check, and the knight's going to have to come back. We'll see if there's a potential knight check as well. I want the knight away from attacking the rook. I mean, you could maybe go here now, but then I think I can just collect the pawn. Or maybe throw this check in. Or this one, yeah, gone back. But now I think I can check here. You can't go this way or this way, so you have to block with the knight. So let's check and drive the knight back. Then I think maybe I'm threatening just a simple rook across. And that might be just winning. Boy, what a scary game this one has been, though. I think rook across might be just winning, then there's no queen back to guard the knight. There's no threat against my king, so rook across looks winning. Knight check, takes, rook check. There might be something there, but I don't want to waste all my time calculating it. Let's just go here and hit the knight twice. Even if the queen could defend, I could just trade everything off and then knight takes pawn, and the knight should be able to stop too, but not necessarily. But boy, this has been a scary game, hasn't it? And I'll get no rating for this as well. This is why these games in these arena tournaments are always dangerous, doesn't matter what rating level you play at. If I was playing just purely for my rating, you wouldn't play arena tournaments, you would only play similar rated players via the home page. Okay, comes forward, so this should be checkmate shortly now. Here, 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 up, here, up. I don't know if it makes any difference which way I take, but I don't want to lose my knight. Ah, just go this way and check and get the queen off, yeah. It doesn't really matter if there's a checkmate or not. So check here. Oh, hold on, maybe there is. Check here, rook check. Yeah, it must be right to check, because the king can't escape. Because I could have just queen checked and got the queen off the board there. I can still probably get back to that position, but check and I'm crashing through. Or the queen can come back this way as well. Here I can just check with the rook, but I've also got queen across, so that should be mate. It should be mate now in a move or two. Boy, what a scary game though. You can see why a lot of these games, like I say, no matter what rating level you play at, they go wrong. When you're playing low-rated players to yourself, but they're close enough, they often go wrong. But that's checkmate. So I need to brush up on this particular specific opening, don't I? So let's put that one through the engine. I did actually get a point for that. I got 1 rating point for that. I think I got 1 rating point. Oh, it's 35 moves. It felt like a lot more, didn't it? So how did I actually play the game? Let's just see whether I actually played the opening right or whether I was completely busted. I'm certainly better in the end game, you can see. Oh yeah, I was much better than I've blundered. So I've blundered somewhere here in the opening. So what was my blunder? Oh, the blunder is taking back the bishop. Isn't it? No, where's my blunder? Well, it's actually, it is a blunder from my opponent taking it. I thought it was a blunder there, because there's a common line when you've got your bishop on c4 to sack, and then you've got knight here and you collect, but it was covered. That's why I walked into whatever this was. So this is okay. Oh, is it bishop back where I've blundered? It's bishop back allowing this tactic with knight check. I just didn't pay attention to the knight check. So it was correct when I was thinking about queen to block and allowing this. And I'm +5 better and just completely winning. So yeah, it was bad from my opponent initially. Just then I've not took the time needed and I've blundered. But it's still only +1.8. It's got to +4 though for my opponent here. Oh, I've blundered a piece. Queen takes, knight check, and it's over. It should be over. So I missed that as well. That's where I've blundered as well. Queen takes, knight. So on another day, just playing that tad bit sharper. And it's going to be a loss, isn't it? But then I've managed to stabilise, turn it around and play the end game. Not so bad, but very poor figures as you can imagine there. 74% each, 66 centre pawn loss. My average is 32. So not very good, but it is what it is.